YouTube world? My name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back together again, and in today's video, we're going to be doing another Celebration of Cinema review, and this time we're doing it for one of my personal favorite Sony animation films, Goosebumps. I know it's not technically animated, but it's included in that studio, and it is also made by Sony. And this is a film I watched about 2 years ago. I was in 8th grade, and I was in science class, and it was actually around October time. It was like a couple days before Halloween. It was like I think it was like that Friday before Halloween, before the 3 days before Halloween, and my teacher decided to give us a couple of snacks, and we got to watch Goosebumps, and it was an absolute pleasant surprise, and finally I get to talk about it with you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about this amazing film. And I think the best thing about this movie is easily the story. It's definitely one of the big highlights, as it's basically a story where you have this kid who just moved in, and his neighbor is acting kind of sus, but he kind of likes the neighbor's daughter. But it creates this story where you have this man who was bullied. Well, actually, the more of the story is, it's about this guy. It's really about this team that has to put away, this guy created these monsters, and he has to put them away back into his book and basically erase them. I like those types of stories where people created monsters in some sort of way, such as like multiverse stories. People coming from other universes, and it's up to that person to put them back into their own universes. In this case, it's up to this guy to erase them and just put them back on the page, and that's an interesting story. And instead they became too real. But with Jack Black's character, I love the way that the story played out, that everybody hated him, that everybody was just not liking him as much. And so he instead of having real friends, he created his own friends, and those friends became a bit too real. And so he started writing books, and those monsters became so real they came off the page. And it was just like an interesting story that had interesting sequences, whether it's trying to fight off a werewolf, fighting off the abominable snowman. You even get Jack Black playing a dummy in here, which I thought was fun, and having all these monsters and creatures. It was just fun, and that's the part of the story. The story is fun, but it's also a person paying for his mistakes, and I really enjoy that part of the story. Another great part about this movie are, of course, the characters. Of course, the main standout in here is Jack Black. He's, of course, hilarious, but he also kind of goes through an arc, as you learn a lot about him as to, like, feeling, and even as you see him throughout the movie, as he keeps saying, I didn't like people, so I created my own friends. And you can see why people don't like him, but you can also see that he still cares, and he still has a heart, and he still wants to save everybody, and that this town shouldn't have to pay for my mistakes. And it really is a great arc that he goes throughout the movie. But it's also pretty, like, I was watching it just now, and I actually forgot about the plot line that his daughter was also not real. She was also made up. And I'm like, that's pretty profound stuff. Because the moon shines on her daughter, and you realize, oh wait, she's another one of his creations. And it just builds this thing. Beyond that, all the other characters, they're pretty funny. The main guy that was in Alexander the Great and everything in that movie, No Bad Day, he's pretty funny in this movie, as well as his best friend. They're all funny in this movie. Even the daughter has some nice moments. So yeah, the characters in this movie are pretty fun. And I think the final thing we'll talk about here is the monsters. There are so much fun stuff. Of course, you got Jack Black playing a dummy and him leading all these monsters. You got fights with the abominable snowman, a giant werewolf, and what can kind of come with that, with the drooling of it, the abominable snowman fighting on an ice skating rink. You have monsters, like you have all these gigantic creatures, you have blowing up monsters, you have all these crazy ideas, and then you have them being put on a book. It's brilliant, and I honestly want to check out Goosebumps 2 because this movie is so good. And that is my celebration and cinema review for Goosebumps. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media stuff with me about section over there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.